Hi there, Jonathan, back with you again. Today we're on Monday the 24th of November. There wasn't actually a video yesterday because I was out the entire day, so didn't have the chance to do that. So we're just going to have a quick recap over Saturday, Sunday. And today I'm going to just talk a little bit about what we did in those budget shifts and what things are looking like on this new funnel. And some very interesting stuff seems to be appearing from this. Okay, so this was the Saturday again. Well, I guess very similar to the Friday. So very good, and we'd seen some good progress there. Yesterday came in at 841. So we'll just have a look at that one. Yesterday, so we spent £428 approximately, giving 560. Actually, I haven't even done the maths on this one. 560. Oh god, now I'm gonna have to get my calculator out. I should develop my mental maths. 841 minus 560. Oh, $281 profit. So obviously we'll probably more around the $400-500 mark on Saturday, so good results. So obviously, as you know, a couple of things changed on the Friday. In terms of my budgets, because my Riffs campaign had been performing so badly, I dropped my budget down. I literally dropped, I think, £40 a day off that budget. And actually bumped up my funnel number 2 up to, I think, to 90. I've now put it up again another £10 to 100 because it's performing really well. So yeah, I can well see potentially this whole shift in terms of budgets between these two campaigns, although it depends what happens with the Riffs one. I mean, bizarrely, since I dropped that budget down, it actually when I dropped the budget down, it actually suddenly started performing a lot better. Now, whether there's any link there or connection, or whether that's a pure coincidence, I've no idea. But anyway, so that's what sort of happened with that. So but let's look at this new campaign, and obviously this was the one with me playing guitar very averagely, but actually some interesting things seem to be going on with that. But first and foremost, obviously it's the performance of that campaign. So you see here, between the 21st and 24th, well, up until today, this morning, we'd done like $900 in sales. But this is the most important bit, is the average order value, literally up just under $70. So you know, yeah, if I compared that to the Riffs one is probably more around the 45, 48. So it's considerably higher on this front end, which has been a great result. So conversion rates seem to be higher on this one. I mean, obviously this is a newer campaign, so maybe the other ones has had a bit more sort of saturation to it, so this is hitting a new audience. But what is also really interesting about this campaign is, here it is there, is the ads that I've got now in it. So what you can see here is that Facebook is allocating, let's look at it over the same time period. What was it, 21st to the 24th. Generally, oh, I'll move myself. Oh, I don't know where to put myself. Up here maybe. Okay, so we can see actually the good proportion of the budget has gone onto this new ad. So that really probably came in the last couple of days. But if you look through at these click-through rates, I mean, it's absolutely huge. That unique CTR all on that video at 17.26%. I don't think I've seen that figure as high as that before. Now, although the unique outbound click is not as high a proportion, say normally if that was 17 or 18, I'd want this to be more like 9% rather than sort of 7. So maybe I can do a better job on the ad copy of that to really translate this initial engagement into action. But other things are sort of interesting, although it obviously generates that high click-through rate, is helping bring that cost per landing page view down, but not necessarily working it in terms of that many purchases, and the cost per purchase is high. But in that sort of scheme of it, where we're thinking that actually with this new format of running Facebook ads, where you're putting a lot more creative into a single ad set, so the algorithm is potentially showing that same audience a couple of different ads from your campaign. So obviously a lot of people are potentially seeing this video, and then next time round they might just see this static pack shot, which has meant that obviously even though the click-through rate is lower, the conversion rate is really high, and you can see that obviously the ROAS numbers on these are very high. Now, something to bear in mind is these numbers that Facebook's reporting are not actually accurate. So I think when I compared them to actually what's happening in the sales funnel, it's reporting about 28 sales. I think it's more like about 18 or 19 have actually gone through. So I don't know where it's like double accounting. So when you're looking at your Facebook ads, do make sure you check them with actually what's happening in reality as well, because it can give you a bit of a distorted view. But anyway, the logic of this is the fact that actually if you've got an ad in there in your ad set that's more of a sort of a video, that's more of a just hooking people in, just getting people interested, but then in the mix of ads you've got, some are very simple static pack shot type, go buy it type of message, then the algorithm will actually change and rotate those images, and so don't always look at it from the point of view of going, oh well, I'll turn off that ad because it cost me £25 a purchase. The point is that ad is potentially helping you get the lower cost per purchase on the very static ads. So but one thing that did surprise me actually is the carousel ad. I thought was going to be an absolute sort of winner, but so far, although the click-through rates are lower on it, actually hasn't generated any direct sales. But I think that's more to do with the actual carousel ad itself. So what I really want to do is to maybe bring in a short clip, because this is a 1-minute video here. So maybe we want to bring in a short, 10-15 seconds into the carousel, maybe put a pack shot into the carousel, so make it more of a collective of the other things that we've got going in the campaign. Also, there's plenty more videos that I can shoot, and maybe with different backgrounds, and be more creative about it. But this is my very first foray into the idea of presenting myself as an average player and saying, does that overall resonate and connect? So on the face of it, based on these click-through rates, yes, I'd say that does work, but obviously very early days. We've only been doing this for 3 days, 3.5 days, so it's very early to tell, but there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. I'm very excited to see what we can do. So in the meantime, I'll say what I'm doing on the campaign side is just at the moment, I'll leave the Riffs one where it is. Now I lowered the budget because that seems to do well. I'll see how it performs today, tomorrow. If costs start going really back up again, I may pull it back even further and just try and get more into this second funnel, because in the second funnel I'm still in that learning phase, so I'm still pushing to get that 30 to 50 conversions within a week. So we're still a little way off from that, but I mean, I must be getting up close-ish to it. So I'm hopeful with a good couple of days or so, we might click out of that learning and into the active phase, and at which point I'm sort of hoping that this CPM number is going to start coming down, because at the moment, if you look at it compared to my first funnel here, where the CPM is £6 a thousand, and this is £22, you know, even if I could halve this and then not impact any other aspect of the funnel, you know, I could potentially get double the sales for the same amount of money. But we will see. That's yet to be seen what happens when we make that shift from learning into active. But you know, the good news is it does look like we're going to be able to do that, and hopefully going to be able to do that within days rather than weeks. So so that's where we're at. And actually today as well has got off to a reasonable start. It's just 12:30, just approaching lunchtime. We're at 439 in sales today. So fingers crossed for another good day, but should be a bit of an exciting week ahead. I think really should see some changes coming in different aspects of the funnel, and as usual, lots more to do, and obviously closing in on the end of the third month. So looking forward to doing that bigger picture roundup on where we're at a quarter of a way through this journey to 240,000. Okay, so have a great rest of the day, and look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.